Hey everyone, I wanted to talk to you today about ballistics and firearms, bullet trajectory, and things like that. Now, when we talk about ballistics, there's actually three different types that we have to look at. The first one is going to be internal, the second one is terminal, and the third one is external. I'm going to take each one. The first one is looking at the actual gun itself, and that's going to be the internal ballistics. That's going to be does the trigger pull properly? Is there any defects? What are the striations on the bullet? What are the striations on the barrel? Does it fire? Sometimes the guns don't fire, or there's a defect. If someone was killed and the internal working of the gun don't actually work, well, then that might not be your weapon, or maybe it jammed. They're going to look at anything that has to do with the physical portion of the gun. Now, that's going to be done by a firearm expert. Now, once we move away from the gun, we have to move to the body, and that's going to be terminal ballistics, and that's what caused the death of the person. The terminal ballistics, they're going to examine the body. They're going to examine the path of the bullet through the body, what it hit, and this is usually done by a medical examiner or a forensic pathologist. That's who's going to be able to determine. They're also going to be able to tell or recover the bullet for you, but they're going to focus on the body itself. What caused the death, or what organs were hit, what parts of the body were hit, how many bullet wounds there were, the exit wound, the entrance wound, anything that has to do with the body. Now for us, or in my position, I would be the external ballistics. And that's the CSIs, the crime scene folks. The crime scene folks are the ones who are going to look at the trajectory of the bullet once it leaves the gun while it's on the crime scene. So we may be doing the grid pattern, or we may be looking for the casing that's missing. If the bullet ricocheted off some objects while they're, let's say it's out an outside scene, if it ricocheted off the ground, we're going to be looking for that evidence. We may have to set up a grid pattern or a different search pattern to try to find the casings or still the bullet if it's in a wall or in a car or wherever it may be, whether you're inside or outside. So when we're looking at firearm evidence, there's more than just one piece. It all has to fit together, and one helps the other. Now, while we're on the external ballistics, we also look at residue. Sometimes we'll do a gunshot residue kit, and they're not 100%. They're very fragile. Once we do if someone fires a firearm and we're going to say we're going to swab their hand to see if there's any residue there, well, that's fragile stuff, and that can actually be wiped away pretty quick. And secondly, some of these kits react to the lead that's in the primers. Well, I know for our police department, we use non-lead primers. So that kit's going to come up negative even if I use a firearm. So we have to be aware of that. But those are the three different types of ballistics that we need to look at. I just wanted to give you a real brief overview of the different ones, since that's what we're looking at. And I hope this was helpful. I'll see you later.